Why daily?
Why daily? Promise to myself is we wouldn't talk about Dubb Daily too much. The fact that we're doing it daily, because I feel like when creators start talking about the show that they're creating, it just becomes about that, and then they get distracted from the actual content. But I will say, it feels kind of good. This is our first week.
Yeah.
We have a week's worth of content every day. And I feel like we're kind of like second wave, third wave daily content creators, where, first wave was sort of that initial family vloggers. Second wave was more produced travel vloggers, integrating filmmaking style. Third wave is kind of like next gen daily content, where it's focusing on niches. It's more show style. It's just more produced and more scalable. A lot of creators are obsessed with them creating everything themselves because they're scared that if it gets outsourced in any way, then they'll lose that flavor. But I believe there is a way to scale people. Yeah. It really just comes down to the framework that you create, and then you can kind of play within that. So I just listened to this podcast from Sarah Dici, her podcast, That Creative Life. Actually, with your cousin was on it, which is kind of funny. Yeah. And I didn't even know it was your cousin. I was listening, and I sent you a link to the podcast, and you're like, Nick is my cousin. I'm like, what? Nick is your cousin? But on that podcast, they mentioned that towards the end, they were talking about future is really scaling people. It's definitely early days. The next 5 years, seeing all of this sort of evolve and seeing the film industry completely collapse into the daily content YouTube world.
We're in like the platinum era of like self-produced content. We all have a phone right in our pocket. We don't need anything crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, we can literally shoot an entire segment just holding a camera doing selfie videos.
Yeah.
And guess what? People are going to find interest in that. I think it's just the psychology and the almost like the fear of saying, I'm going to start shooting video and I'm going to start sharing my stories and I'm going to put them out there. There's something a little bit daunting about that for a lot of people.
Yeah, totally. Especially in the world of likes and comments and views and everyone's value, their self-worth is tied up in these metrics. When really, it can take years to actually grow a user base. It really has to come from a place of genuine passion. That'll actually convert to an audience. That was today's Dubb Daily. I hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to subscribe. Also comment with hashtag rapid fire.
Rapid fire.
If you want a question to be featured on a rapid fire segment where we answer your questions in 30 seconds or less, we're going to be rolling that out soon on Dubb Daily.